The views and opinions of this broadcast do not reflect the views and opinions of Armed Media, New Productions and its affiliates. Enjoy the show.
I'm a big fish in a small pond. Got my days free and the nights long. I create my own reality. Who I am is fine with me. As famous as I wanna be. Who I am is fine with me. It's who I am. It's who I am. Who I am is fine.
Okay, thank you. Coming in. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Hi, everybody. It's Maria from What's the Story with Maria. How's it going? We are so happy you're here. We know tonight is a big night across the country, so you might be watching your televisions, and that's fine. You can pop back and forth. The show is an hour long, so you're not going to miss much of your TV. Don't worry. We are glad you're here. My name is Maria, and I am the host of What's the Story with Maria. And what is this show about? The show is I interview wonderful people that I happen to know and be friends with that also are creative people. Some of you out there, they are people that do so many different things. And this particular week, I have I'm a huge fan of both of them, and I love them as people. So Leo Rodriguez, our friend and accidental intern, who made the video, by the way, that little clip Leo makes, he makes all that stuff. So he's out in Portland, Oregon. He lived in New York for a long time, and now he's all the way out in Portland, Oregon, opening up a restaurant. Okay. Jeffrey Campbell has joined us. Hi, Jeffrey. We were just saying we know it's a big night. Julie Rayburn has joined us. We love Julie Rayburn. Amazing singer as well. Yeah, Julie, look, I got some all-stars on tonight.
Hi, baby girl.
She also has beautiful little children,
yes,
so we're going to talk about that too. Mandar Chick Magnet, my friend Mandar from Jersey City. I name him Mandar Chick Magnet because he's flanked by gorgeous women at all times. I don't know how he does it. He's a great dancer. That's how he does it. He attracts the girls. So we want to let you know that you can find us on Armed Radio. What's Armed Radio? You can go to your TuneIn app on your phone or your computer and type in Armed Radio, and it's our show will be playing right now, but there's a million other great shows. Also, armeddigitalmedia.com, Armed Radio Global. If you are on your computer and you want to stream us, we are coming in live. I also Facebook Live it every week, so you can catch us here. This is episode 137. And I know, right? Wow. Every week. I think I've missed 2 weeks. One was Christmas Day this year, and I was like, you know what? The Italians, Christmas Eve. I don't know if I should do a show on. And then the other one, we had a technical issue. But other than that, we have done 137 shows.
That's a lot of shows.
It is a lot of shows. And what we have people from all over the country and all over the world that tune in. Also, if you missed this, don't worry, because I saved the video. It's also on Kristy. It'll be on Kristy's page, on Marty's page, on the Armed Radio page, my What's the Story with Maria. You can find it. And then, in a few hours, Jimmy is going to put it on Spotify, Spreaker, and iHeartRadio.
Who's the one-armed bandit?
The one-armed bandit.
Mandar.
Well, you know, Mandar will say many crazy things. And do not be distracted by his shiny objects.
I thought he meant Jamie Ray.
What? Who's Jamie Ray?
My best friend. He has
really?
one arm.
No.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Who knew? I didn't know that. You knew that. Joshua Glennie has joined us. Hi, Joshua. Okay, we're going to start our show. So, okay, who do I have tonight? I have Marty Thomas and Kristy Cates. I have been dying to have them both on for a long, long time. Since probably the first month that I was doing the show, I made a master list of who I wanted on my show, and you were both like high up there. But, you know, you both were doing different things, working a lot of crazy hours. You had your baby was very small, and I was like, you know, it's going to be late and all that stuff, and Marty's working, doing all these shows and all this stuff. And then I saw that Marty had his CD coming out. And I was like, I got to get Marty on the show. I wonder if Kristy's not in a show when Marty's CD gets released, we're getting them on together. And it happened. Awesome. My dream came true. All right, who else has joined us? I'm going to do this a lot. I'm sorry. You didn't even say that's my honey. She's across the river. Russ Woolley, he's going to be in the show in a few weeks.
Colin.
John Pandish. You know Colin? Who's Colin?
He's my best friend from high school.
What?
Ah.
This is crazy. So Leo, I listened to this today. Did you post Marty's? He posted a link to your...
Oh, thank you, Leo.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, it's good.
Yes,
you,
I
Kristy.
can't
Real good.
wait. Michael Bobo, he's in Texas. George
I
Hernandez.
love Michael Bobo.
You know Michael
I
Bobo?
do. He's my friend.
Isn't he wonderful?
Yeah, he's so wonderful.
He's so wonderful. Okay, so let's start with Marty because his CD just came out. Marty, well, first of all, I'm going to say that we've known each other about 10 years, would you say? Maybe a little longer?
a lot longer.
Kristy, me and you too. A
Yeah.
lot longer than
Maria,
that,
we're
right?
pushing closer to 20.
Come on, really?
Yeah, because I started coming to the duplex in 2002, and I started hosting mostly Sondheim in late 2003, early 2004.
Kristy, did you used to come to that as well?
Um,
Mostly Sondheim?
I just came to drink at the bar with you, and
Oh.
I did a lot of stuff with Phil Bond.
With Phil Bond, who I always say Phil Bond put me on the map as a songwriter.
Yeah.
I will always
okay.
be grateful to him.
Yeah.
He's a
Because
sweetheart.
a lot of people didn't even know I wrote songs. And Phil was like, I'm going to put you in one of those songwriter series.
Yeah.
People start to know who I am. So let's talk about your CD right out of the gate. I'm going to hold up this is what the cover looks like. And Marty, please tell us where we can find this.
You can find this anywhere. Fortunately, it came out on Broadway Records in December.
Okay.
And you can find it on iTunes, Amazon, Spotify, just anywhere you can stream or download digital music.
And is it mostly download digital, or do you also have hard copies?
Hard copies are available through my website or through the Broadway Records
Okay.
website, so you can get hard copies. And it's so beautiful. The Gingerbeard Men shot this cover, and Michael Hull did a lot of photos for it. But
I love the cover.
it has the liner notes are just really beautiful.
See,
for this
I
record.
personally, of course, I'm grateful for the digital age, but I gotta say, I'm a big fan of an actual CD or vinyl or anything I
love
can
that.
hold. Like when we were kids, I'm way older than you guys, but we used to sit by our record players, literally sit around and like you'd have an album and you'd turn it over and you'd read the liner notes and you would just sit around for hours. And then CDs, it was a little smaller and you had to pick through it. But now with digital stuff, you don't get a lot of that. Like who played the trumpet on that song? Who wrote the arrangement? It's hard to get that stuff going. So
Thank you, Michael.
Gail Harney Sanizzi has joined us. Federico Herrera. Hi, Freddie. That's my friend Jill's boyfriend. Wonderful person. All right, Richard Skipper. We all know Richard
Richard
Skipper.
No, Richard.
He is famous. Richard is like my assistant here. He sends me so many great people. Ray Irizarry is my friend who is an NYPD wonderful guy, and I love him. I'm always trying to get him on, but anyway, he's adorable. So we have like a really broad range of people now. So this CD, how long did this take you to make, Marty?
Like 3 years?
Yeah.
It took a long time.
So this is and the name of the album is
Slow Dancing with a Boy.
Okay. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
So please go and listen to that. Bernard Stote has joined us. Kenny Holcomb. We love
Happy
Kenny.
belated Kenny.
So we all know each other. I'm gonna go back and forth. So Kristy, you also used to come to the duplex, and I've heard you both sing. I mean, way back when, and you know what I love about this town, and I do call it a town because it's so small sometimes, and especially in our little world, our entertainment community, our singer community. It's like what I love about it is you get to watch people get here, and you see like where they go.
Yeah.
And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And what I mean by work not necessarily is like they conventionally make it or not. It's just that sometimes people leave or drop out of the business. I see that a lot.
Or move into the areas of the business, or
Yeah.
just adjust.
Or just like don't want to talk about it anymore. I've seen that too. But I've seen a lot of people leave this town. So Kristy, you're from California, you just told me?
The Bay Area, yeah.
Wow. And what made you want to move to New York?
I think I always knew that I wanted to move to New York. I used to call it UNork, like lots of kids used to, and that's just, I have a very early memory of telling my mom I wanted to move to UNork. And,
Were you always a singer?
So I'm the youngest of 6.
Wow, I didn't know
Mom
that.
had 2, Dad had 3, and they got married and had me. And so I would perform for my family, but I thought I wanted to be a lawyer. And,
Really?
My Italian grandfather, God rest his soul, really was not thrilled that I was actually going to go to college for musical theater, because all my life I had been saying I was going to go to law school.
Was he a lawyer?
No, he was a fire chief in Berkeley.
Wow.
And so there was this idea of me going to Cal and this whole thing, and then I ended up getting into the school of my choice, so I went to school for musical theater instead.
Where was the school of your choice?
Cincinnati Conservatory.
Wonderful.
And so I graduated and moved to New York, and I thought, okay, well, here we go. So that I kind of really just summarized that down to 2 sentences, but that's pretty much what it was.
Well, but that's pretty much how you got here. Now,
Yeah.
a couple of people have popped on while you were talking. Kenny Green,
Yes,
who
Kenny
we
Green.
adore, amazing musical director, great friend, has joined us. He and I are working together it's on Saturday nights at a new place called Pianist Envy in Jersey
I saw
City.
that online. I saw a picture of it. You posted about it.
So much fun.
It looked so cute.
It's right across the river. You take the PATH train to Exchange Place. It's 3 blocks from there. And it's this wonderful new piano bar.
Oh, cool.
It's like a gem.
What's it called again?
Pianist Envy.
Like,
Pianist Envy.
and it's
Yeah.
got like
I get it.
rainbow keys behind it.
Yes.
That's cute.
And
Aw.
Kenny Green is the musical director there on Saturday nights. Stephanie Block-Egan, my great friend, and was one of my students in Morristown. Peter Iannello, my great friend, also a great singer, who just bought a restaurant. And Peter, you have to come on the show and tell us about your new restaurant. He's a director of education, doctor of education at his school, but is an amazing cook, and now he just bought a restaurant.
Stephanie Block. There just aren't enough Stephanie Blocks in the world.
No, there aren't.
More, please.
Right? Who else has joined us? Okay, everybody else I think
Ray
was
Martinez I met in Cancun, or Puerto Vallarta 10 years ago. You see that?
He met you?
That's
Maybe
what
he heard
said.
you
I'd love to
sing.
meet him again.
Oh my, he's beautiful.
I love Puerto Vallarta.
Yes, I do too. And Isabel Raskowski is my cousin Marisa. She is in Massachusetts. So, did you also know that you wanted to be a singer and move to New York from an early age?
Not so much New York, because I was raised in the church singing.
Okay,
and
well that makes total sense.
you know,
When you
we
hear
live in a
Marty
country.
saying, that will make total sense.
We were raised so country that I knew I wanted to do music and be a singer, but I came to New York very young. I did my first Broadway show I did when I was 11.
Really? I didn't know that. See what you learn about your friends?
But it was like, we didn't know what Broadway was. It was just a weird series of events.
And you ended up on Broadway as an 11-year-old.
Yeah.
How long was the run?
I did just under a year of The Secret Garden.
Yeah, I was like, tell them what show it is.
Yeah, I mean, you have to
oh
say
my
what show it was.
God, that's amazing.
Thanks.
So you knew that, Kristy. You knew that
did.
little tidbit.
I'm a bit of a Marty stalker.
Oh,
yeah, I think
right.
everybody
I know
is.
a lot about Marty.
I think people stalk you too, Kristy.
Oh,
I
Yeah.
remember the first
Yeah,
time
I
heard
know
you
that
sing.
for a fact.
my first
Like,
time
I
I
can-
sang.
Both
can-
of you are incredible.
I can see it. I went to Scott Nevin's show at Therapy Bar in maybe 2002,
Wow.
and she was singing
Right.
from Boobs the Musical.
I don't know if I know Boobs the
It
musical.
was this really funny off-Broadway show that I saw. I only bought tickets because they came and did this. They sang from the show, and I was dazzled with Kristy.
Yeah.
You never told me that.
Oh my God, you were amazing.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's easy to be dazzled with Kristy.
She was wearing a green top, I remember, and she sang from
Sparkly?
Boobs the Musical. It wasn't sparkly,
But you did used to have a green sparkly
I
top.
did have a great.
Yeah, I
kind of-
remember it.
It was satiny.
The crisscross
Okay.
one.
Yes,
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And the boobs were on display, and she belted,
I'm a
and the
mom
whole
now.
room was like,
Yeah, it's different.
Oh, Marty, that's sweet.
Wow,
Thank you.
We
it's
were
true
dazzled.
though. It's true. I met you, Kristy, through Brandon Cutrell.
Thanks, Rick.
So yeah, they were both like puppies that came to town, and you know when you hear these
Yeah, we were.
new voices, you're like, who's that? But you know, I got to tell you, Kristy, and I know you work really hard on your voice because you also teach it. But your voice was beautiful when I first heard it, but what you have done, I mean, am I right? I'm not. The
you're right.
level that you have gone to, like there was something you were doing some show, and you had someone film you from the wings, or someone filmed you from the wings, and I can't remember what it was. I almost want to say it was something from Hello Dolly.
If it was Wicked, it was probably me. I was so unprofessional.
No, it was. I was doing ribbons down my back. I was doing Hello Dolly in Oklahoma City. Yeah.
Wow.
Aw,
And
Ryan, thank you.
literally, I was like it took my breath away. I was
I have
like,
the chills. Thank
oh
you.
my God, that I know her. Like, that's my friend.
She's incredible.
It was so amazing.
Well, I appreciate that. I'm happy to talk about it later, but I went through a period of time where I had to have vocal cord surgery.
Really?
And
a lot
that
of
was
people are having that.
2012, and it wasn't through anything that I had done.
Really?
It was through a medication that I was taking.
Wow.
And it caused blood vessels to come to the surface of my vocal cords. And I fully plan to write a book about this, about destigmatizing all of this. But this was 2012. And I sort of made it my mission to not only not sing improperly ever again myself, even though it wasn't caused by that, it was still... when your voice is not perfect, your mind just goes crazy places. But anyway,
because that is who we are. I mean, I know
it's our identity, absolutely.
Yeah, and you have to tell yourself, I'm going to be okay. This is going to pass, or I'm going to take care of it, because otherwise you will lose your mind.
Yeah.
You will.
And my vocal cords were not perfect before that. So anyway, I had the surgery, and then they were perfect, thank God. And then I sort of made it my mission to really understand how to sing properly, and I really never wanted anyone else to go through that, which is why I started teaching voice lessons.
Wow.
And so, yeah, that's sort of where I'm at now. But I really appreciate your compliments. Thank you so much.
No, absolutely. And we'll come back to, because I want to tell people how they can find you.
What makes a vocal cord perfect?
That's a great question, Marty.
It would be absent of any sort of
nose
swelling, even if it's not nodular. It could be pre-nodular swelling or a cyst, or a lot of singers have had blood vessels.
Almost
that
like
burst,
like an ulcer, right? Sometimes you can even get like ulcerated cords.
A lot of people sing through them and sing through them perfectly fine.
Right.
It's just. You have to know what you're doing.
I always say this, and I say it lots of times to piano players, and I don't mean it as an insult to them, but sometimes when it's like, oh, modulate, it's like, hold on a second. We don't put our guitar in a case, we don't close the piano at night. We carry our instrument everywhere we go.
Yes.
And you have to really treat it very gently. If you had a guitar on the subway with you all the time, no case, in the rain, different temperatures, the guitar has to be tuned over and over and over again. Yeah. It wouldn't last. Like, it's the same thing with a voice. And I really have an issue with that sometimes, that people have to respect that a vocalist is very fragile, really, and that we have to take care of ourselves. I want to come back to you because, so I was telling Marty this before the show started. When I first met Marty, I thought he is, not thought then, and I don't. My first thing I noticed was that you are beautiful. You have this. I love a ginger anyway, but then you have those beautiful eyes, and I was like, he's so cute.
Thank you.
And then when you sang, I literally started crying because I was like moved like you would be in church. And when you mentioned that, I was so glad you did, because your sound, Marty, and your spirit is so incredibly soulful. That if a person is not moved, they are dead. If you're not moved by Marty Thomas's, what comes through him, something is wrong with you. So, but how did you develop? Was it something you listened to all the time? Because you're a white boy. You're a beautiful blonde white boy, and you sound like this incredible, like that soulful sound that comes out of you. I don't know many white boys that have that sound. Am I right, Kristy?
I'm obsessed.
That's so kind of you both.
No, it's true.
Yes. I definitely grew up in the church.
What kind of
Baptist,
church? Okay.
Where music was really important, and everything was country and gospel where I'm from. And then I had...
And where are you from? You told us, right?
Missouri.
Okay.
Farming town. It's called Trenton, Missouri.
Okay.
The meth-producing capital of the world.
Wow. Isn't that crazy?
Impressive.
Now it is, though. Now when you were growing up, right?
Apparently when I was growing up, too.
Wow.
I just had no idea.
Isn't that crazy?
Didn't know. So they grew up in the church, and country music and live performance was just everything. I then came to New York really young to do The Secret Garden.
Did you start singing very young?
Very, very,
Very
young. Music
young.
is so important.
So
in
what
the
was
Southern
like,
Baptist
you're
Church.
in church, and are your parents musical?
Not really. My grandmother sang
So
during the World Wars
who
to
knew
sell
that
war
this
bonds.
little boy could sing? Who was it that said, this boy can sing? Was it
honestly-
a pastor? Was it a choir director?
It was my entire church could not have been more parental to me.
Wow.
Because music was very important and
So that it
elevated.
takes a village thing was
100%.
definitely- Yeah, I agree.
Uh,
And I love that because I was 9 when I started singing, and it was one of my teachers,
yeah.
because I was kind of a troublemaker, and she said, I'm going to bring you to a rehearsal.
I just picture you as a little Powerpuff Girl, as the one, the brunette with
A
the
little
green,
bit. I was a little crazy.
the really gruff one.
Yeah, and I went to Catholic school, but that's what it was. And it was in the, like, I was born in the 60s, so it was like folk music was really big. You know, it was like the early 70s. And
Yeah.
So, and that's like that, I just was released. It was like someone unzipped my chest, and I was just, I could be like whoever I wanted to be. It was beautiful. I loved it. So I loved that whole church thing.
Oh,
Did you
thank
have a similar experience? Were you like a church girl?
Not really, but I did go to a Christian school for elementary school.
Okay.
And I got cast as the rooster
Oh.
in the school show, The Rooster That Crowed 3 times.
Okay.
And I sang a song called The Sun Is Rising, the sun is rising, shine on me, something like that. And someone was like, up to my father, actually, who did play guitar and sang.
Okay, so there's music in your family.
Yes, but he had severe stage fright.
Oh, really?
So he always tells this story that he was in, he was singing, I don't remember what it was, a 50s song of some sort, and he would get up and do like the first few lines and then completely freeze and forget the rest of the song and have to leave the stage.
Oh
my gosh.
So anyway, someone went up
Poor
to him
baby.
and said, if your daughter can really sing, you need to get her into voice lessons. And I think I was only in the 2nd grade or something.
Wow.
But they found a voice teacher in my little tiny town, Pinole, California. Shout out to Fiat Music.
Were you ever shy
And,
about it? Or were you just always like, I
Never.
love this?
No, never.
Well,
I was
your
never shy.
daughter, I mean, I got to say, because I've never met her,
Yeah.
but I see all the stuff you post on Facebook,
Yeah.
and I sometimes watch it a few times. I'm like, she has so much confidence.
She's so brave.
Right?
She really...
I mean, it's
she
incredible.
is,
But
yeah.
is that, you must have been the same way.
I was. I don't remember... I never had stage fright. I was
Right.
never... yeah. I mean, I think that gets you
We're
into
all
trouble
big hams,
sometimes.
I think.
Yeah.
Marty, were you a big ham?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
oh my God.
me too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this is the big ham club for sure. Yeah. So, okay, then you came to New York, and then you, of course, you went back, right? And did you study? Is that the field you went into? Did you go to school for that, or did you just resume your life as a young person and not think about singing?
Wait, me?
Yeah.
Oh, when I came back from
New
York?
from Broadway.
No, I kept singing. It was when I left the farm and came to New York. My mind completely
You
changed.
saw things you could never unsee.
You can't unsee and
Yeah,
you can't
it's
unlearn.
beautiful.
And going back to Trenton, I think my parents were really aware that it was a difficult move for me. My mom found some opportunities for me to work in Branson, Missouri.
Okay.
I don't know if you're familiar, but
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
the Vegas country capital
Sure.
of the Midwest. And I did the Johnny Cash show and the Glenn Campbell show and the Presley's Jubilee and did a lot of shows there that cut my teeth on harmonies and writing arrangements
Yes.
and
Oh my God.
made me a musician.
Yeah.
So I did that for a few years before I came home to finish high school and go to college and moved here pretty young again. When I was
Wow.
20, I came back here.
Wow. Yeah, and so I guess I have known you a while, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
All
know
right.
me almost the entire time I've been back in New York as a grown man.
Yeah, amazing. And now, is this your first? Not your first album, though, right?
It's my third full album.
Right, because I've heard a lot of different things that you've done. Again, I'm
Oh,
going to
thank
keep
you.
showing this because a lot of, and I am going to call out some of our friends that just joined us. This is Marty's new album. It's called "Slow Dancing with a Boy." And tell us again where we can get it, Marty.
iTunes, my website, martythomas.com, broadwayrecords.com, Amazon, Spotify,
Yep, all of
just
them.
anywhere you can buy digital or...
Can't wait. You're going to be
Streaming
blown
music.
away. All right, let's just call, see who's joined us in the meantime. Then we'll talk about your other albums
Pastor
as well.
Killer, my friend.
Okay, so we have a lot of people that have joined us. Michael Barbieri has joined us. Hi, Michael. He was on a few weeks ago. Barry Dubois. Do you guys know Barry Dubois?
I know Barry Dubois.
You would, if you don't, you would love Barry. Barry was in Once on tour. He is a friend of ours from the Duplex for Darius and I, and he's an amazing singer and just like plays guitar and just a really good guy. Richard Skipper. Let me see. A lot of people have joined. Hold on. Well,
Somebody asked
Pam,
where in
what-
the Bay Area you're from. Where in the Bay Area?
Oh, Pinole.
No, I've never heard of Pinole.
It's like 15 minutes from Berkeley.
Okay, Michael Alden has joined us.
Ah, Michael Alden.
Do you know Michael Alden?
Yeah, famous Broadway producer. He was a huge country star with his two sisters.
Really?
Yes.
Hi, Michael Alden.
Like, I bought their
Welcome.
album well before I met him.
Okay.
And, yeah, he's
Well,
really
welcome
amazing.
to our show, Michael.
But major Broadway
Do
producer.
you folks know Monroe Kent?
I do, of course.
Wow, I don't know it.
Monroe
Where's
Kent is one of the most... He's a baritone bass, right? Marty, would you say?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like this deep, rich, like...
Classic Broadway
gorgeous,
with soul.
beautiful honey voice, and you don't know what to do with it. It's like a liqueur.
I know
his
what
voice.
to do with it.
Yeah, well, and Monroe played. Oh my God, I just went blank. He played Nat King Cole. Thank you, Nat King Cole. He wrote a show about Nat King Cole and played Nat King Cole across the country.
Cool.
And he is amazing and one of the most beautiful human beings.
So kind. He's so kind.
Oh, Monroe, where are you these days? Come find me, or I'll find you. Let's come on the show. And what a beautiful guy he is. Monroe's a great guy. Cheryl Giuliani Rubenstein, she's in L.A. She's my friend for many, many years.
Natalie
Great
Douglas.
actor. Natalie Douglas, voice for all ages and all times. Natalie was on the show. We had so much fun. Mikey Pello has joined us. Okay, so now I also want to let's switch towards Broadway now, okay? So both of you, now you started with, you did your Broadway as a young person,
Mm-hmm.
and then went back to Broadway,
Mm-hmm.
right? Kristy, you've done a bunch of shows as well, so tell us about that.
Well, I know Marty because we did Wicked together. We
Unbelievable.
opened the show up on that thing, stage left.
Yeah,
Right?
stage left, house right. We started on the...
Yeah.
What did they call that? The
The balcony thing?
I don't know.
So
Yeah.
okay, in the on the tour or on Broadway?
Broadway.
Okay, just
Yeah.
so people know.
Yes.
So they were on Broadway in Wicked, and what year was that? Was towards the beginning, right?
Well, 2004
Yeah,
you
she
joined,
started
right?
in 2003, and I
Right.
came in right after the first of 2004.
Oh my God, it's Phil Jeffrey Bond!
we were
Phil,
just
we were
talking
just
about you.
talking about you. And I always say it, Phil, and I know to the point of nauseum, you put me on the map as a songwriter. Thank you so much. Phil was the first person to say, this person can write songs. Thank you,
Phil
Phil.
produced my very first New York cabaret ever.
Really?
Yeah, he did. At the
Yeah.
Netflix.
Phil put me on the map too.
He does that.
He does. He really
Yeah,
does.
Phil, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We love you. We love Phil. We're just talking about you. So, Wicked, you met in Wicked.
Yes.
Oh my God, how great.
Yes, we did.
Okay, and then you just did Charlie and the Chocolate Factory a few years ago, right?
I did, and before that,
Finding
Finding
Neverland.
Neverland.
Which I saw you in.
did.
It was
You're so
beautiful.
nice.
And you're so cute because afterwards, I'm just like, I know she's got a million people to say hi to, and I'm just standing there. Hi, Kristy. And she pulled me, and we took a picture together. It was wonderful. I loved it. You were wonderful. I love that show, actually.
Me
I thought it
too.
was a beautiful
Me
show.
too. I love.
That was a
Finding
beautiful
Neverland.
show. And Marty, you're doing completely other things on Broadway. I couldn't believe now the transition into hair.
Yeah.
Okay, now I don't know if you know my whole family's in hair.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, I didn't know that.
My sister, my dad, 8 of my cousins. It's a hair. Everybody has,
Wow.
yeah. So when I was like, Marty does hair? It was like, yeah, you didn't know that? So how did you go from singing, doing all that incredible stuff, and just saying, how did you stop doing hair on Broadway?
I was having a rough time in life and in my career. I was just having a really tough time transitioning from my 20s of being a chorus boy and playing very youthful roles. I guess I never intended to get this old, is the whole thing. I didn't see it coming. And when I started not understanding where I fit in theater and not figuring out where to place myself and what to go in for, I knew that I needed to take a little time to figure out who I was and where I fit and what I wanted to do.
But you never stopped singing, though,
Never
right?
stopped singing. I just kind of
singing.
stopped auditioning for a while.
Right.
And I started asking myself what else I had been interested in life if I hadn't been a performer at such a young age. And I'd always been passionate about hair and fashion and makeup and beauty. And so I visited FIT and I visited several hair and makeup schools, and I settled on this hair school, Arrojo. My buddy Kevin Tarmas Garcia, who was a very famous photographer in the Broadway scene and around, was going to the same school. We decided to go and try something new together.
And when was that?
That was in
5 years ago or more?
About 6 years ago.
Wow.
And
See what
we
I
started
mean?
school.
Speaking of hairdressers, my friend Ed Couto has joined us.
Hello, Ed.
He has Blade Salon in Rocky Hill, Connecticut. We went to high school together. He's a great guy. So we were just talking about hair. Eddie, you'll have to back up and listen to it again. But so that Alana Diaz, also a great singer that I met recently. So just about 5 years ago, when's your birthday? What sign are you?
August 25th, I'm a Virgo.
Okay, that makes sense. So Virgos are very organized. They know what they want. They don't make a lot of noise. It's funny. Like the Virgos I know it's more like it's all happening here, and then when they know what they're doing, then they'll tell you about it.
Oh yeah, that's
versus
true.
like a Gemini. Like I'm a Gemini. It's just like blah, 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 and then we don't know where the hell we are. Kristy, what are you? When's
My
your
birthday's in 5 days. I'm a Pisces.
What? You don't seem
birthday.
like a Pisces.
I know.
You
I
have
don't
so much
have a
more
lot of-
fire than
I don't
Pisces
have a lot
normally
of the
do.
Pisces traits, except
Pisces
that I cannot make a
usually like-
decision.
Really?
That is, I'm horrible at making decisions.
Well, I wonder
I've
what
gotten
your
much better
rising
as I've gotten
sign
older.
is, though. So, okay, Marty.
Jamie McGonigal.
I
We
know.
love Jamie.
Hi, Jamie.
And how about his baby?
Yeah.
How about
Oh,
Malcolm?
God.
We're all fans of Malcolm. Oh my God, he's so cute. Today, there was a picture of Malcolm playing the harmonica. I'm like, oh, that's it. That's the beginning. We're seeing a musician in the future. Okay, so you went to school, and then, but how do you go from just saying, I think I'm going to try something different, go to school, to doing hair on Broadway?
Again, a village. Fortunately, I'd had a really awesome career on Broadway and in the New York area and nightlife and whatever. And the second that I was interested in it, people just started beating my door down saying, let me help.
Wow.
John Jordan and James Hodges, who were both performers for many years, still are, were running the wig room at Lion King on Broadway, and they asked me to come in and train and sub, and that transitioned into The King and I and Aladdin, and then I started designing shows. I designed Marvelous Wonderettes, and I
That's
designed
amazing.
Clockwork
And you were in that
Orange.
as well, right?
She was.
So, wow.
I did Clockwork Orange off Broadway.
Yeah, I wrote these all down, but yeah, I mean, you of course remember them because they're your shows, but I did write them all down. I was like, wow, what? And then you also did jukebox,
Postmodern Jukebox.
postmodern, but you were a singer, you were a
was a
performer
singer,
in that
yeah.
show. Okay.
I did the band's hair as well.
You did, so you performed and you did the band's hair.
Just because I like cutting hair, but
Wow.
not an official standpoint.
So were you always, did you always notice like hair and makeup as well?
Yeah, my sister was a pageant girl. So
Okay,
I grew up
all right, wow.
obsessed with the Miss America pageant.
Really?
And I still am. I produced the Miss New York pageant.
You do?
Yeah, it's...
Did you know that, Kristy?
I had no idea.
Me
I
neither.
do.
I know he can do. He does my hair, and he did my updo for my opening my
Oh,
last
you
Broadway
were so
opening
gorgeous.
night. Well,
She looked great.
he really.
And what show was that for?
That was Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Wow.
Yeah.
But
I think I remember that hairdo.
I trained
on Facebook,
pageant
I saw
girls
that.
on many different levels with talent and interview. I trained last year's Miss America, Mia
Really?
Lonnie Franklin. I did. And now I produce the Miss New York pageant, and I just believe in that program so much. It's such a... I do it completely for free.
The adults or the little ones?
The adults.
The adults,
It's
wow.
a scholarship pageant that just... the amount of confidence that it instills in young women and the scholarships that it provides for these women is astounding.
Really?
People
Good to
confuse
know.
it with Miss
America.
Miss America and the Miss USA pageant.
Right.
Very different.
What is this called again?
The Miss America Foundation,
Miss
scholarship organization.
Wow. So that's amazing. So that's a whole different world. But because of your sister in the pageant world,
I grew up
you
obsessed
understood
with
that.
glamour, that 80s, 90s glamour
Yeah.
of sequin gowns and big hair and speaking confidently and being educated and understanding, keeping up with political current events. And I think that pageant world has always informed everything I've ever produced. Because that's
Wow.
my mind's eye of
That's your
glamour
reference
and-
point.
Yeah, it's where
Yeah.
I started.
Yeah, I totally get that. I understand. It's like, it's so much of, like, there are certain things that you just have. It's in your blood. It's what you know. It's like, it's what's familiar.
Uh-huh.
You know? So
and it's the
that
first
makes
thing I
total
fell
sense.
in love with.
Right.
With, like,
Well, that's
seeing
where
it on
passion
TV.
comes from. Ann Kittredge has joined us. You guys know Ann Kittredge?
Yeah.
Amazing singer. She was on the show a few weeks ago. And she just got nominated. So lots of great things. Bruce Klog is going to be on the show next week. He and Lenny Watts are going to be on the show next week. I can't wait. And that is St. Patty's Day. So I'm going to have to make something St. Patty's. I have to. So I think we're having corned beef. I mean, that's what Richard Skipper says we're having. And, Richard decides these things. But, by the way, my God, lest we not forget, in a few minutes, maybe let's just do it now. I don't know if you guys, I'll remind you, but I did cook for tonight's show.
Yeah.
As I do cook.
Starving.
So what I do is I ask my creative friends to come on and talk about their lives and all that. And I feel like I have to be creative every week if I'm asking people to come on and bare their souls. So I challenge myself by saying, do you have any food allergies, restrictions, or preferences? And then I take in what they say, and then I create a dish from that. So I thought you were a vegetarian, but you're a pescatarian, which delights me, because I'm not a vegetarian at all, but I love like seafood and fish and all that stuff. And Kristy, you said this was your favorite thing, so I made salmon. Now I have to read it because as I get older, I forget what I put in dishes because I'm kind of like I throw things in. I'm like, oh, this will be good and this will be good. So then I'm like, don't forget, you're going to forget what you put in there. So here is our plate tonight. All right, so what is this beautiful plate that we have here? This is what I put it. It's a salmon, and what I did was I marinated the salmon in sherry, dill, shallots, garlic, lemon and lime, coriander, sesame, and then I pan-seared it, and then I caramelized onions with a fig glaze and poured that over asparagus.
I want that.
So that is what we're having. And we got a little brown rice going there, a little quinoa brown rice as well. So we're going to have that. That is our main dish. Then, everybody knows I love a good salad. I love salad. That's what saves me from being 400 pounds. I eat salad. A lot of salad every day. Okay, what did I put in here? I put red leaf lettuce, baby cucumbers, tricolor red, peppers, sweet peppers, Bermuda onions, and then pears. I got a red pear and I sliced that up. I like to just throw everything in. There's a lemon pepper in here and onion salt. And I'm going to do a basic olive oil, like an extra virgin olive oil and a pear infused vinegar.
That onion salt smells
Doesn't it smell so good?
Amazing.
And that
It
is
smells so Greek.
It's Trader Joe's onion salt.
Yum.
I love Trader Joe's. I spend a lot of money there. And nothing's expensive. Now, Kristy, this was because of your little girl,
Oh, okay.
who I know loves unicorns, and I think Marty loves
she
unicorns
does.
as well. So there's
doesn't
some in the
love
kitchen for
unicorns?
her as well that you can take home.
That's so nice. Thank
So, who doesn't love a good unicorn cookie? These are unicorn sugar cookies, and they were inspired by. I love watching Gigi
you.
on singing all her beautiful
I
little
like
songs.
the way you say cookie.
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 Yeah,
Cookies.
it's
Tony
cookie.
Hook.
It's an Italian thing.
Cookie.
It's a cookie. So
Cookie.
that's what we're having for dessert.
Gonna have cookies.
So that so Marty, have you always been a pescatarian, or is this like something in the last few years?
It's like about 7 or 8 years.
Because being from Missouri,
I know,
I'm
my
sure,
dad's a
and
cattle
growing up,
farmer.
I was going to say, wow. So you don't eat meat at all now,
Just
for health reasons, right?
for health reasons, and it was one day, it was one moment. They put they built this burger place in Midtown, and I was honestly so excited to go. And I went, and they had this, like, dancing cow in the window, and I saw the cow, and I had this, like, moment where I put it all together. Because I just grew up on a cattle farm, and, like, you eat meat, and animals are animals, and then meat is meat, but it was the first time I had truly put
Isn't
the
that
two
crazy?
together, and I just never did it again.
Wow. All right, and Kristy, are you just eat everything, right? Me too.
Yeah, I mean, I mostly eat fish and chicken.
Yeah.
But,
yeah,
I'm not going to push away a spare rib.
Right. You know what's so funny? I was watching the Oscars this year, and when Joaquin Phoenix got up and talked about, he made his little speech, I was like, wow, it's very brave to get up there and do that. But I kept looking at the audience and thinking, how many of them already ordered the steak? And now they're like, oh, shit, I ordered the steak.
So wasn't it
well,
I
he
thought
was
the
a vegan
Oscars were
thing.
Vegan, but I thought was it the Oscars or was it the...
What?
It was either the Oscars or like the
Golden Globes or
Golden
something?
Globes. Something was an
Really?
all-vegan meal, yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
But I'm always like fascinated that people make those decisions because I don't know. I think I've never. My nieces are vegans, although I think now they're vegetarians.
Have you had a Beyond Burger yet?
Yes.
No, is it good?
Oh my gosh,
Yes.
it's my
Really?
favorite thing ever.
Yeah.
Where should I try it from?
Well,
From
Beyond
Burger King?
Burger, no. Beyond,
No.
That's the Impossible Burger.
Oh, okay.
Very different. They're
Okay.
like brands. And
I love
Beyond
veggie
Burger
burgers.
is its own like.
You
Oh.
can get it in the
Oh, in the frozen
freezer,
food?
not freezer. Is
Morning-
it
Yeah,
frozen?
frozen food section.
Beyond Burger. Okay, I'll have to try
They
it.
like,
I'm always
because they're
willing to
made
try
with
anything.
beets, they like bleed when you.
Well,
when
I
you cook
love
them.
beets.
Yes.
I love beets.
But this is completely indiscernible from a burger.
Really?
It gives you like that satisfaction of that like juicy texture that you loved about a burger.
Okay.
It gives you everything you wanted.
Well, now I have to try it. All right, Beyond
Come
Burger.
over, I'll make you one.
I love that. I love that. And growing up, Kristy,
Yeah.
what was something that you loved that you ate all the? Well, you said your grandpa was Italian. Did you eat Italian
Yeah,
food?
but my grandfather, Armando Gallinetti,
That's very Italian.
hated cheese.
What?
I don't understand it.
That's
He
un-American.
didn't like. He
It's
did
not
not
Italian,
like,
too.
Yeah, I know
It's
he
not
didn't like
Italian.
cheese. So we had a lot of polenta.
I love polenta.
We had a lot of like I can't even think right now. He loved to fish. He was a fisherman, so I had a lot of salmon, a lot of smoked salmon.
right.
So we had a lot of great food, but I didn't. My mom would make like lasagna and that sort of thing, but I don't know. A small town in Northern California, we didn't have. I didn't try Thai food or
Right.
sushi or
Well,
Indian
I didn't
food
try
until I moved to New
sushi
York.
until I was.
Yeah.
I lived in New York, and I was in my I had been here a few years. I was in my 30s. I'd never had sushi. I mean, and I loved. I grew up in New England, so
I don't think I had sushi before my
really,
like
yeah,
late 20s, early 30s.
No.
because where we grew up, even Boston, like now, everybody like in Boston, sushi's everywhere. But I mean, 20 years ago, whatever, sushi wasn't that big. New York, that's where I first. And I remember like starting off with a California roll and a little at a time.
Yeah.
It's like such a big deal. But I grew up like with eating oysters and clams and all that stuff.
Oh.
I love that. But that's a
I
New
didn't
England
know
thing.
Right.
So now let's go back to your vocal studio. So you are teaching. I'm going to hashtag all this stuff.
Sure.
So now
Well-
you tell me about your teaching.
Sure. So I'm actually the head of the Professional Conservatory of Musical Theater at the New York Film Academy.
Oh, that's not too big of a deal.
Yeah, no, it's amazing.
Wonderful.
And we've been around 10 years now, and our big thing is that we do live productions, of course, but we also do movie musicals. So so it's great. We just graduated 16 students, and we have 30 right now. So we usually range between 30 and 50, 60 at a time.
Wow.
And yeah, it's
And
amazing.
how long
I love
are
it.
is it a semester?
Well, right
is
now
it a
we're
year?
a 2-year program.
Oh, okay.
And everyone who teaches there is connected to Broadway in some way or the business. Marty taught there. Marty hosted
Marty,
an
you
open
did?
night
I
for
did,
us.
yeah. I loved
Marty
it.
hosted an open
Wow.
mic night for us once, but
And I
It's-
want to talk about your open because you do a lot
a
of
lot of it, and he's
a lot of
amazing
that. Let's
at
talk
it.
about that too. So go ahead.
Yeah, so we have several students on Broadway and Aladdin and in West Side Story and on tour in Les Mis and on TV shows on Netflix and and we're an
Wow.
international program, so we're mostly American students, but we have students from South Africa and Australia and the UK and
How long
Mexico.
have you been doing that?
So I first started teaching there. VP Boyle started this program, and that was in the end of 2009. And so
It's great.
10, 11 years.
And Marty, you taught there?
I did. I taught for a few years there.
Wow, that's wonderful.
It's an awesome program. Their facility is gorgeous.
Yeah,
it's
we
like
overlooked
Is
the
that
Statue of
Midtown,
Liberty.
right? Is it?
No.
Oh, downtown.
well, there
Battery
is
Park.
one, and there's one at Union Square, and
We
then
used
there's
to be there. We're not there anymore. Now it's just we're all in Battery Park.
Oh,
okay,
really?
cool.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
and it overlooks the Statue of Liberty,
Oh.
like their dance studios.
How nice.
Could not be
How
more.
inspirational.
I always
New
get
York,
right?
emotional because right outside my window at the office, my office is the Statue of Liberty, and my great grandparents came through Ellis Island.
As did my family, yes.
And so I'm like, if my great-grandparents could just see
Listen, I
me
have
now,
to,
it's
at
like
some
amazing.
point, maybe not tonight, but at some point I have to play a song for you that I wrote with Will Tien Hall, and it's called This Is My America.
I
Oh,
love
yeah.
Will
It's
Tien
a
Hall.
so I love him too. He lives right up the street. He lives about 6 blocks away. But we wrote this song, and it's about the immigration experience. It's about coming over on those boats, crossing the Statue of Liberty. And I wrote it in honor of my mom. But my whole family came from Italy, and they came through Ellis Island.
Yeah.
You can see their names. They're
Yeah,
you know,
my great-grandparents too. Yeah.
Did you say your mother did?
my mother.
Wow.
I'm
Came through
first
Ellis
generation.
Island?
Yes, because they closed Ellis Island in, I believe, in 55 or 57. So my mother came here in 55. It's
I
right.
guess growing up in the Midwest, you just
Yeah.
in my head, I just think about that being so unreachably long ago that it's insane
Well,
to me.
I
to
mean,
think
I'm
that
a
your
lot older
mother-
than you guys. So
Really? You're not.
Well, no, I'm in my 50s. So my mom came here when she was 18, and so, or maybe 17 or 18, and then she worked here for a few years, and then went back and married my dad, and then he came over.
And
from
where in
Italy.
Italy were they?
Yeah, where?
Avellino, which is just south of Naples.
Okay.
It's beautiful. It's like fig trees and olive trees.
Oh,
It's
God,
where
it's so
olive oil.
gorgeous.
And right now, all this stuff that's
I
happening in
know,
Italy
I
is
know.
heartbreaking.
I was in Italy all summer with Postmodern. It's just my favorite
And I was
place.
there
Oh.
just in December in
Really?
Florence. Yeah, teaching for the New York Film
And
Academy.
I'm
my
supposed
God.
to go back in October with Will Tien Hall, barring any
Wow.
coronavirus.
Well, you know what? I am one of these people that does believe that things work out, and they will work out, and I believe that people are taking precautions to, we can hold a whole other show about that. But I pray that things are taken care of, because that's a beautiful country,
Oh, yes.
and it's just heartbreaking. But so you were in Italy, with Postmodern Jukebox, right?
Yeah.
And now I also want to talk about all your open mics. I know you from that world too, Marty. And the what's that big ball thing that you do every year? Will you do this?
The glitter ball.
The glitter ball.
Yeah, my birthday party.
Oh my
We're not
God, but
making
it's-
an event.
Yeah, but you make it sound like it's just this fun little party. I mean, it's high production.
Oh, thank you.
Right?
Thanks. It's a good
So
time.
tell people, if they don't know what Marty Thomas's glitter ball is.
It's so fun. I started
but
doing it
what's
for my birthday when I turned 30 because you got to celebrate yourself. Who's
I
gonna?
love it. I love
And
it.
I just invite a lot of my favorite singers and friends to come sing a song.
Amazing
and put on a
singers and
show for
friends.
the community. I'm doing it August 24th this year.
Okay.
At the Green Room. It's become my favorite venue because it's
I've
across
never
the
been
street
to
from
the
my
Green
apartment.
Room, but how you guys love it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Love
it's
it.
really nice.
Yeah, you are the first one, I think, that posted something about it, and I was like, the Green Room, what's that? And then I looked it up, and then everybody started doing shows there. But
I was one of the first shows there.
I know you were.
It's across the street from my apartment, and they're
Wow.
so New York venues can be so difficult to negotiate and work with because everybody is a performer in New York, so it's
Right.
high turnaround. But Green Room always treat me well, and they make me feel like
Well, as
I'm
they
doing
should,
a
Marty.
show at my friend's house.
Yeah, I love that. That's a good feeling. And so the glitter ball, you've been doing that for a couple
This will
years
be
now.
the 11th.
Wow. And you also record them, though, don't you?
I always film them. One year we did an album for the
Yeah,
disco
that I
line.
remember, because Emily McNamara played.
Yeah.
That's when I think I first was like, what's that? And Adam Chandler always talks about it. But Emily Mack is the first person that was like, you don't know what the glitter ball is? And then she played some cuts for me. I was like, this is super high production.
Well, my best friend Jamie Ray is a producer, and he was living with me the year that we did the disco-themed one, and we decided we were going to do an album, and we recorded some of the most amazing people doing disco tunes. Lena Hall and Titus Burgess and Rachel Potter and Kate Bazakis and Katie Thompson, Natalie Weiss, just wild singers.
Yeah.
And did a disco album. Because why not?
Wow.
We're saying we need to dig it out and release it for a charity.
I
Because
think you should.
It's so good.
It was amazing. I thought it was amazing.
We just gave it away as a party favor for fun.
Yeah.
And now we're like,
Now,
could
if
raise some
people
money.
want to be able to hear you sing, are you still doing these open mics?
I do Sunday nights at Rise Bar in Midtown.
Okay, tell people where that is.
Rise Bar's on 56th and 9th at 10:30 every Sunday. We do an open mic. Yasuhuku Fukuoka
What?
Plays piano.
Oh, okay.
He's tremendous.
Amazing.
I don't know him.
He's awesome. You'd love him.
Wow.
He's a
Sunday
classical guy.
nights. Okay, good to know.
And we do that every Sunday. Low key, we call it a judgment-free zone, like pizza day at
And
Planet
is there a
Fitness.
cover?
No cover.
Wow. So you
just
could just walk
for
in
fun.
and Rise Bar is a great little spot.
Try stuff from your audition book. Sing something you've never sung before.
Sunday night, so get out to see Marty.
It's fun.
Now, if we and Kristy, is there somewhere we can hear you sing now? Because you're not in a show right now. Now take advantage of this because that's why she can do the show because she's usually in a show.
Right. So
That's true.
I have to say that being a mom and
how old
running
is
a
your-
school,
how old
she's
is your daughter?
5.5.
Amazing.
And she's learning to read, and so that's really important to me to be there.
She
with her
also
tonight.
Like she's
She
great.
does. But she wants to be an astronaut.
Okay,
Who
good for her.
conducts in space. So
Good
I'm
for
like,
her.
okay. But I'm also, I still love to perform. Of course. I just did a show the other night for Royal Family called Women on Fire, which is, if you get a chance to check it out, it's on 46th Street. It's all these amazing stories of women from the front lines. It's
Really?
fabulous. Yeah. Yes, I highly recommend
Wow.
it. But I am at the point where I derive as much joy watching my students
I know.
bow and feel what that feels like
Yep.
and watch them conquer
But
their
that
goals.
to me is a true artist, like all the way through, because it's not just about ego. It's not just about look at me. It's really someone that loves the art and loves it all the way through. You know what I mean? Like it's the same thing what you were talking about, like from a little guy watching your sister singing in church and then following it all the way through and saying, I'm just as okay with making other people look beautiful and presenting them on stage and
I love
as
that.
I am presenting me on stage. Both of you have that in common. I think that's really like a remarkable. Not everybody has that. Now, if people want to hear you, where can they find you online somewhere?
I
Do you
did
have
a
a
song
website
about
or
the
something?
MTA. It's on YouTube and
So
Spotify. It's called Another Awful Day with the MTA, and it has a little music video to it too. I know, isn't that embarrassing that I don't really have anything to promote right at this specific
No, that's
moment
not. I'm
in
not
time.
worried. I just want people to be able to hear you.
Yeah.
So you're on YouTube. We can find you.
And I've done some recordings for Chip DeFaw. If anyone knows Chip DeFaw, I'm getting ready to do one for him in a couple weeks here. And I think I'm singing in the Sinatra show, but I don't want to say too much about that, so I'll post about it.
But you can find Kristy Kate. So spell your name, Kristy, so we can find
KRISTYCATES.
Okay, and
on Facebook and Instagram, and Twitter is only me complaining about Donald Trump.
Yeah, that's her.
Sorry.
Everybody does that.
I try not to.
And Marty, tell us again how we can find you.
My website, martythomas.com. I'm on Instagram and pretty active at Marty Thomas Loves You. On Twitter, I'm Marty Thomas B-Way.
Okay.
And Friday night, I'm doing my friend Blake Allen's series, an evening with. It's an evening of Dolly Parton music at the Green
I
Room.
love Dolly.
That's the Frank Sinatra.
too.
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
Doing that
Blake
on
does
Friday.
amazing stuff.
When is that?
Yeah.
That is this Friday night.
Wow, I'm going to be working at
You should know
Brandy's.
Blake Allen. You would live for him.
you would love Blake
Do you know
Allen
Marty
so much.
Gould Cummings?
Of course.
Michael's husband. Or, excuse me, Marty's husband.
Yeah.
Wow.
And Blake is a genius orchestrator, and he started this series.
See, I so admire people that do that.
Me too. He pays tribute to iconic artists and brings a full orchestra with string section and horns into the Green Room.
Now, I want to say something about this, because a lot of people that come to visit New York, and they could be as close as New Jersey or Connecticut or Boston, where my family's from, or Pennsylvania. People come and they spend a lot of money and they go and see Broadway shows, and that's wonderful. And Broadway is amazing, and as a New Yorker, I've been here 30 years, I'm in awe of Broadway. So nothing against Broadway, but I got to tell you, right on the outskirts of Broadway, you are going to hear and see some incredible things that you wouldn't normally know about.
So true.
Follow these guys, because they are involved. The people you talked about, you're involved with stuff that, like maybe the average theater goer would not know about.
Right.
We know about it. The people that are there, on the fringe of it, or are involved in it, or are fans. I'm a fan of both of yours, so I see what's on your Facebook or hear what you post. But there's so much incredible stuff. There's so much great cabaret. There's so much, and when you talked about orchestrations, that stuff blows my mind.
Yeah.
You know, it could change everything. We have a few minutes left, but I want
Mike's
to.
a genius.
I
You
want
would
to
love his shows.
Oh,
man.
I can't wait. So my cousin Rena has joined us. She is amazing. She's in New York. I mean, in Massachusetts. I'm sorry. And she says, "Go ahead, keep eating." We never did that. So the section of our show that's food is called "Go ahead, keep eating." You got to do it with me. Ready? Go ahead, keep eating. Thank you. Oh my God, I can't believe we forgot that. Janet Betta has joined us. She's in Connecticut. Let me see. Patrick Keller.
I know Patrick.
You do?
Yeah.
All right. Well, hello, Patrick. Vincent Pugliese, my friend Dr. Vinny, has joined us. He's a great guy, loves theater. So there's a lot of singers have joined us tonight. Marie Cristina Gonzalez has joined us. Tony Garcia, a lot of people late here. Jeannie Craigie, she's town moderator in my hometown, Stoneham, Massachusetts. Jeannie, doing beautiful work out there. Happy birthday to your husband, Paul. There's so many nice people that have joined us tonight. So if you came onto the show a little later, please go back and watch the show. Also, Leo is wonderful about posting. And after you guys, when you get home and you watch the show, you'll see Leo posts all these links to what you folks are doing.
Oh,
so
cool.
It's really great. And you're also welcome to post links that we didn't get to. But if I know Leo, he posted a lot. He posted Kristy's stuff, posted your stuff.
Thank you.
So, now we got to... Jimmy, how much time do we have?
3 minutes. 3 minutes.
3 minutes. Thank you so much. So, I always ask people, if there are people watching the show, either they're young people that are looking to maybe, or people that have been in the business and have kind of put it aside, any creative person out there that's watching the show, what would you tell them about the creative life? What just a couple of lines that you would give them?
About the creative life?
The creative life, something to inspire them.
I always say trust instincts on creativity, because there's so much emphasis put on following the path that what everybody else is doing, and trying to jump on the bandwagon of what's trending, and that's already happening. So trust your instincts of what you can expound upon that and add to it. Do something fresh that only you can do, that's unique about you.
Yeah, I love that. And Kristy, what do you got?
I mean, I have so many international students, and then in my voice studio, I have students who just sing because they love it. And so I just think no matter where you're from or what your background is or how old you are, like if you have that yearning and passion inside of you, it's never too late, or you're never not going to be perfect for whatever you want to do. How do I say that again? No matter where you're from, you can do this. No matter what age you are, what you've done in your past, if it's there inside of you, you have to listen to that voice.
And yes, and I love what you said about, both of you kind of touched on that. Don't just always, it's not always about what other people are doing. And also that passion for singing. Because Darius Farner and I teach out at the Male Performing Arts Center as well. And we have different level classes. And our adult classes, people of all different levels and ages. And they but what they have in common is they love to sing. And to me, like any person, from a little baby that starts just babbling and starts to imitate sounds, to someone that, works full time, maybe doing just the grind stuff, making sure their kids are fed, making sure they pay their car payments, but their passion is to sing. All the way across, to me, that is beautiful when someone shows up for a class, brings some sheet music and says, I want to do this, I want to try this song. Yeah. To me, that's so beautiful, and the fact that we get to do it, I don't take that for granted. From piano bars to cabaret shows to Broadway to teaching it, singing is just wonderful. And
it's never too late. I mean, that's the thing. It might be too late to be in the Olympics. That's a reality.
Yeah,
but it's not too late to continue to find your joy through music and song. Yeah, absolutely.
And you get aged out of that, but there's exactly. But find things that make you happy. Find joy.
It's time to go.
Joy.
It's time to go.
Okay, Jimmy, we want to thank Jim Bell. He's a real guy. He tells the truth. Thank you, Jim Bell. Thank you, Armed Radio. Thank you, all our listeners. Please come back and see us every week, Tuesday night at 9. We love and appreciate it. Good night, everybody.
It's fine with me. who I am. It's who I am. It's who I am.